down in Langley, late at night. Smart old guys, they play it right. Captain Fun Bobby leads the charge. Silky mitts, Johnny gunshots coming large. Buddy in the slide, all the Chris's in a row. Nighthawks battle, it's a 2-1 show. Jackals, Jackals, rolling down the line. 10:30 puck drop, leaving sleep behind. Jackals, Jackals, no! Every day's Lloyd's birthday here. Whoppers and Fresca raise a cheer. Don't forget a shower beer. Check Pap's beard for lost gear. Jackals, Jackals, rolling down the line. 10:30 puck drop, leaving sleep behind. Jackals, Jackals, yo! Langley Twin Rinks, empty seats. Chili and buns, Christmas eats. A Chargers hat for tailgate. Nachos for the lady bing. Jackals, Jackals, rock and roll train. Jackals, Jackals, you can't stop the rain. Jackals.
After a tough regular season, the playoffs have finally arrived for the Jackals. You can see there on the right side of the screen, they'll be taking on some familiar opponents, the team they beat in the first round last year, the Shower Hogs. They haven't played that team much this year, having only played one regular season game against each other, as for unexplainable reasons, these two teams have been in different divisions for most of the year. This matchup will be between the 5th and 8th place teams in the division. The Shower Hogs finishing 5th, the Jackals finishing down in 8th in last place. But the division has been cut in half, so technically this is the 1 versus 4 matchup here in the new D1C division. From a player's perspective, the roster is at full strength here today for the Jackals. All 15 regular skaters here for tonight's game, so no spares required, and we'll have to run with 9 forwards and 6D. As well, on the bench, Troy Bannister has showed up to coach. Despite not being able to play a game this season, he is here to assist from the bench in the playoffs. There is one significant roster change, though, that is important to note, and that is in net. Trevor, having hurt himself towards the end of the regular season, is unable to play here this week. Hoping to be back for the Game 2 of this series the following week. But here tonight, Sean Davidson has come out to be the goaltender of record in this first playoff game. Sean played the last regular season game, had an excellent outing actually, having 34 saves on 38 shots in a 4-1 loss to the first place team, the Hornets. So if that holds the form, we should see a good effort from Sean here tonight. So with that said, let's head to the first period and see how this goes. Going to start this one off with the Jackals on attack, which you might be shocked to hear considering this is the first period of a game, but here they are in the offensive zone. Shot from Chris Marshall. The rebound just skips past Lloyd in front of the net. Now it's Chris Weeger receiving a pass coming up the right side. He's got a couple Jackals with him, drives wide on the right, puts it right in front to John, who's all alone there, and looks like he's about to tap it home through the goaltender for an easy first goal, but goalie makes the save. Now back at the other end, and again it's the Jackals coming out. Again it's Chris Weeger, the move in his own zone to create this 2-on-1 the other way. Throws it across to Jared, but it's just out of reach on the backhand, so he shovels it just wide. Then it's out front to Aaron, and he can't control it, and that shot off the backhand goes wide right. Strong opening period from the Jackals, but here come the Hogs back the other way, trying to draw in front. It goes off of Sean, and then the rebound goes wide, and then Gary gets clipped from behind after Jeremy knocks a Shower Hogs player down in front of the net, and that causes Gary to fall awkwardly. He has a bit of an injured tricep, but he doesn't miss any shifts, and he's right back into the game. Here's the Hogs in the neutral zone. That puck first tips off Rob, then skips over Bob's stick, and that's going to send this Hog in alone on the left side for a breakaway, but Sean gets a piece of it, goes off his arm, and then rings around the other way. So the Jackals are going to go back the other way. End-to-end hockey. Chris Marshall down the right side. He's got Lloyd going to the front. Throws it out to him, but it's going to skip around in front of the net, and as Bob's coming in, look for it, it gets skied over his head. Bruce has it at center ice, but he can't quite control it. Under pressure, Hogs steal it, come in, slide it 5-hole, and against the run of the play, the Hogs have opened the scoring here, 1-0. The Jackals will be undeterred though. Time running down here in the first period. They're going to reset back to their own zone. Gary putting it up ice. It's going to get bumped up to Jason Davis, who puts it over to Chris Weeger, who drives hard to the crease and can't quite stuff it home. And then John has a great look at a rebound there. Puck ends up out the point to David Atkinson. Throws it towards the net. It's batted down, and Chris Weeger has it again. And he gets one crack at it, and then a swing at the rebound. No good, though. The Jackals are going to go to the second, still down 1-0. And here's a puck dumped behind the Jackals net, and Sean goes back to Banana Land to try to retrieve that. Stumbles, but it's okay. Daryl picks it up, and it's going to be this neat little three-way passing play that eventually ends up back on Daryl's stick again. Around the defender, he's in on that left side, takes the shot, but the goalie bats it down and covers it up. Jackals remain on the attack. Lloyd has it in the corner, throws it in front of the net, trying to find Chris Marshall out front. Daryl's going to pick that up along the half wall, throw it back to Lloyd, who had snuck to the back door, but that skips off his stick into the corner. Things are going to get a little testy between the two teams at this point. There you see Daryl kind of tied up with that Hogs player, who then takes a wild swing into them, and then Daryl sends him down to the ice with a nicely timed shove. Referees are going to deem that to be equal penalties and send them both to the box for roughing, so we remain 5-on-5. Darwin puts this shot through to the front of the net. Lloyd's there trying to get it, and then he gets cross-checked across the chin, gives that player a little shot back, and somewhere in there, Lloyd's stick got broken, so he has to abandon it and leave the ice. And as we look back on it, you can see there's the stick to the chin, and as he's flicking back there, you can see his stick go flying through the air, at least the blade of it anyway. And then you see in the back door, Chris Marshall had a good look at a possible tap in there. There's Aaron calling for the pass at center. So now he got it, and he's going to go down the right side, cut to the middle, throw it towards the net, and it's going to hit Jer and knock him down. Puck goes to the corner. Hogs try to rim it around, and it requires assistance, and it's going to get disrupted by David. Aaron picks it up, throws it towards the net. Rebounds there. Jer shovels it into the empty net. Or does he? Players on the ice thought it was in, but you can see from Jer's reaction that is off the post and back into the goaltender, where he can then cover it up. So very close to knotting the game up, but it remains 1-0. Hogs now with an attack of their own, coming down the right side, cutting back to the middle, shot on net. Sean makes a nice save and covers it up, but look behind the net. Jer is kind of tangled up with one of the Hogs players, who's going to stop, come back at him. Gary Pabla's involved as well, trying to keep the Hogs player away from Jer, but the referee's going to come in, and he's going to award both players a penalty, similar to what we saw from Daryl early. So it's still 5-on-5. The hostilities will continue though. Shower Hogs on the attack, throwing a puck out front of the net. Save from Sean. The puck's in the corner, but watch in front. Rob's engaged with number 27 in blue. They're back and forth with each other, and then there's a shove from number 27, and Rob is down. Again, both players are going to receive penalties. However, this time the referee's going to try to put an end to these altercations, and he's going to award an extra penalty to the Shower Hogs, so the Jackals are on the power play now. But instead, it's going to be the Hogs that get this great chance shorthanded there. Sean tried to poke it, got it past Bob and out to the Hogs player, but Sean comes up with a save. Keep an eye on the referee on the line, as David's going past him, is going to clip the referee's skate and send him sailing backwards onto his back. Luckily, he was able to get up and was okay and could complete the game after some encouragement there from David, and I'm assuming an apology. This game remains still 1-0 here into the third period. There's a turnover by the Hogs inside the Jackals line. It's going to send Aaron down the left side. He's got Chris Weeger in front of the net as well, but he's going to cut through on the backhand, shot up high. Then Chris Weeger's looking for the rebound before he gets barreled over on top of the goaltender. Here's Aaron going to pick this puck up at center, and who's going to poke his head up from below the screen and make his presence felt, but that son of a bitch Banana Peel. He's been on the edge of this game earlier in the game with some other falls, but he's finally made his first appearance of the playoffs. But back in their zone, Daryl's moving through players, and you can see there he gets high sticked, but he's going to carry the puck up ice anyway, waiting for this delayed penalty. Aaron's going to get it on the right side, throw it out front, and it's kicked in, or at least it's off the foot and in of Darwin in front. The referees are going to deem that it is not kicked in, it is just a deflection. I'm not sure we'll see that for sure on the replay. It looks like a kicking motion from here, but thankfully no replays in the ASHL, and the game is now tied at 1. The Jackals are actually still on the power play, even though they scored on that delayed penalty, because it was a 4-minute call. So there's just a 2-minute power play, and here they are on it, but it's going to be the Hogs coming up the left side after some chances there on the power play. And as 91's cutting towards the middle, Darwin comes in and appears to get the puck, and that player kind of skated in his lane, but doesn't matter. The referee is going to deem that to be a penalty and send Darwin off. So after the Hogs player comes out of the box, they are now on the power play, coming down the middle around John and then just off of Sean's glove to the corner. The penalty parade is going to continue, though, as the puck is along the wall. Bruce getting up after getting knocked down earlier, gets knocked down again by number 27, and this time the referee is going to think that worthy enough of a penalty. So another power play here for the Jackals, looking to take their first lead in this game. Darryl coming down the left side, carries it in behind the net and throws it out front to Chris Marshall, who is all alone and sweeps it on net. Saved by the goaltender. Then Dar coming in from the point, and that shot is blocked. Power play continues. Chris Marshall has it at the point, delays, and then throws the puck on front, and then Darwin and Rob are both there banging away with Lloyd coming in late. He sweeps at the puck too, but ultimately it somehow ends up in the corner until this time is running down. There you see that player coming out of the penalty box. Darryl trying to hold the line. It gets put by him. He then manages to catch up anyway, prevents further advancement towards the net, but that player just throws it on net through Darryl a bit and also through Sean and into the net. And with just 4 minutes left in this game, the Hogs have a 2-1 lead. Now we're down to just 2 minutes left. Here comes Aaron. Looks like he's going to shoot, but he holds on to it. Puts it over to Darryl, who goes behind the net, similar to the play with Chris Marshall earlier. This time it's Chris Stuhar. He puts it on, and it's saved, but Aaron is there to grab the rebound and fire it home. And we've got ourselves a tie game with just a couple minutes left to go here in the third period. You can see that puck comes out to Chris Stuhar, shovels it on net. The goalie has a piece of it, and it comes out high to the top of the crease where Aaron is fortuitously awaiting its arrival, and he puts it home. Down to the last minute in this game. Here comes the Hogs player. He flicks that puck up into the air. It gets knocked back by Bob to center ice. And here come the Jackals back the other way. Chris Weeger crosses the line, takes a slap shot. It's blocked by that player. There's a lot of Jackals down deep in pursuit of that puck, and that allows the Hogs to make this breakout pass to send a 3-on-1 the other way. Bob back defending. It's tipped by Bob into the corner. And then as he goes to pursue it there, that player just throws it in front of the net, and it's going to bounce in off Gary Pabla's shin guard and past Sean. And with just 27.4 seconds in this game, the Hogs have come back and got a lucky one to get back in front here, 3-2. As you see that puck being directed towards the front, it's going to hit the shin pad with Gary in front. And the Jackals are going to have to take a timeout here with just a few seconds left in this game, just a couple seconds left in the clock. An offensive zone draw set up to get it to Aaron. It goes over here to Darryl. He throws it back to Aaron, but it's too hard and just past him. They only had a couple of seconds, so they needed this play to go off very quickly, and it doesn't work. And so game one is going to go to the Shower Hogs. Let's have a look at the stats for this game. Two players at the top of the table with 2 points. Aaron with a goal and assist. Darryl with 2 assists. Darwin and Chris Duhar chipping in as well. So let's have a look at the scoreboard for this new D1C division for the playoffs. Jackals losing their game against the Shower Hogs. The Steers beating the Snipers in game 1 of that series. Game 2 of each of these series will be the following week on Thursday. Both games, see there, the Jackals playing the Shower Hogs at 10:30. The winner of those 2 series will play on Sunday at 3 o'clock. So these are the strange 2-game series. So if the Jackals do win, there will be a 5-minute overtime mini game, game 3, to decide the series. So we'll see you next Thursday.